are going to jump one more time to get back to the station sector. So if you feel yourself losing control, if you feel like you're taking too many hits, just save up a little bit of energy. Energy is the bar on the right side of your HUD. Save up a little bit, back roll if you have to, then turn tail and just hold down the turbo. Not warp until you're going at least 100 meters per second, because you are vulnerable during warps. You're moving in a straight line direction, and that's going to make you really vulnerable to taking hits. So you can actually go to your nav map while holding down the tab key, while holding down turbo, and that will allow you to warp under turbo as long as you have 25. So let's see, what can we do? We could try upgrading our ship. This is a Warthog Mark II. It's an upgraded attack variant. It's got a little more armor and a large weapon port. More mass than the Vulture, so it's a little less maneuverable. It might not actually be the best choice for this mission, depending on what add-ons we have. Let's take a look at our large add-ons. So the only thing we have right now is Stingray missile launcher, and this is okay against Apetic Guardians. So why don't we go ahead and we're going to give this a try. We're going black belt, black. Okay, purchase selected. We're going to purchase a Stingray missile launcher and a medium power cell. Now let's go to manage your ship, because we're going to get that neutron accelerator off of our Vulture. So we'll drag that off there, go back to the Warthog, make this our active ship. Groups is something I haven't talked about yet. If you go to groups, this will allow you to set your primary trigger and secondary trigger. So you see here the primary trigger is set to the neutron accelerator, secondary trigger is the launcher. Alright, so let's go back to this mission. We're going to give this another try. Rogue Queen detected. So it's sending us to D12. D12 is down here, so that should enable us to avoid the ion storm. So let's launch. Warthog's a little less maneuverable. 5 bots coming at you at the same time is pretty difficult. Whoops, actually fired off a missile there. That's going to be a problem with the configuration. Oh well. Actually, let me see if I can fix that. We'll go to controls, keyboard, fire secondary weapons, delete. Okay, so now we're going to avoid that. I actually had the record key set to C, which is also fire secondary weapons. Alright, one thing I'm going to do here, as soon as we get back into this hot sector, I'm going to plot a nav route right away. So, just in case we have to make another run for it, I'll have that nav route already plotted. Alright, first and we're going to see if we can get a few missiles to help out with these guys. Missiles, you can see, are actually pretty good against Guardians. There we go, one's down. The missiles actually have a run to them. The explosion actually affects the ship to the point where it will cause it to spin around, and that gives you a brief second where you can fire your blasters at it, and that'll help you take it out. So there go the Guardians. Now we're just left with these 3 assaults, and you can see assaults are actually very nasty as well. They like to get right up in your face, keep the back roll going and just tap your X key every now and then so you can target the nearest hostile, and that way you will always be locked on to the nearest assault. And these guys will try to get around you. The blasters are your defense. You can defend yourself by spraying blasters. You don't always have to hit. Sometimes you need to just lay down a little suppressing fire. So don't let these guys get too close. Don't let them get too close, and keep a steady stream of fire going. Keep an eye on your energy. Oh, see, that guy's trying to get around us. Try to get around us. Trying to set up a crossfire here. And this takes some nerves. But you just have to keep this going. You will take a few hits. Keep an eye on your health. We're down to 56%. So if that gets a little too low, we may have to make another run for it. And don't let them get around you. Don't let them do that. And you can see eventually you'll start to learn their pattern. Eventually you'll learn their pattern, and you can get into a rhythm of avoiding hits and keeping up your defensive spray. When you maneuver, keep an eye on your radar. Your left radar kind of allows you to get a quick look at the relative position of the assaults, and you can see if they're trying to surround you. They will try to sandwich you. Energy maintenance is using your energy in conjunction with your distance to the target. Is you can kind of gauge it just by dead reckoning. It's also visible in the top right hand corner of the screen. This guy's trying to surround us. Keep auto aim on, and you don't really have to mess with auto aim when you do this. But the aim is not the greatest. I mean, it does take practice getting into the rhythm, but once you do, you can avoid taking hits, keep the defensive spray going, and you will eventually get them down. It's important to remember where your opponents are, especially when fighting multiple opponents like this. Keep track of the location of your opponents. Know where they are at all times, even if you're not directly facing them. And stay calm. Gotta stay calm when you do this. And just continue the rhythm. I'm going to keep this up, and hopefully we'll knock these guys out. Boom! Alright, so that takes care of the escorts, and next, the Queen's gonna come up and say hello.